The Dear Man skill is from the Interpersonal Effectiveness module, and it's about getting what you want in a way that keeps yourself and your relationships tidy. So getting what you want, getting others to do what you ask them to do, saying no to unwanted requests and making it stick, so not giving in eventually because they keep asking, resolving problems in relationships, making changes in relationships, getting your rights respected, and getting your opinion or point of view taken seriously. So that's what this session's going to look at. And we use the acronym Dear Man, and the D stands for describe. So whenever you're communicating something, describe the situation you're reacting to. Stay calm and say it as it is. Stick to the facts. Stick to the moment. So don't be dredging things up from ages ago. If you're upset or you want to communicate something about something that's just happened, stick to that. Don't say, and you did this 2 weeks ago, and throw that in there, because that's something else. So no judgmental statements. Keep yourself tidy and be objective. Deliver the message of what it is that you're trying to communicate. So examples of describing without judgments and being factual and being really objective. One example would be, this receipt says I can bring this item back. So if you're in a shop, rather than, if you don't give me a refund, I'm going to complain about you. That is not describing without judgment and being factual. That's quite threatening, really. Another example, you've left the door unlocked 3 times this week, rather than, if you leave that door unlocked again, I'm going to ask you to leave. An example, you've not answered my email, rather than, I hate it when you ignore me. It makes me feel suicidal. You're not sticking to the facts there. You're kind of bringing in other stuff. The fact is they've not answered your email. You don't know why, you don't know what's gone on, the hows, the whats. So stick to the facts. Another example is the dishes need washing up, rather than, how many times have I asked you to wash up? So these are observations without emotion, and it sets a scene for being skillful. The E in Dear Man stands for express. Express clearly. Say clearly how you feel, what you believe about the situation. Don't expect the other person to be able to read your mind or know how you're feeling, because we're all different and we all react in different ways to different situations, or the same situation we can react differently on different days. So by sharing your personal reaction to a situation, you're making it easier for that other person to figure out what you want, and then they can meet your needs however best suited, really. So examples of this are, I believe I deserve support and help with this. When I do so much for other people, I feel really tired. I'm worried about the repairs in the house. I'd appreciate if you could take the dog for a walk. I would like to move your things out of the spare room. Sometimes you don't need to describe and express. Sometimes if you're making a request, it can be, can you get bread at the shop, please? You don't have to say, I would really like it if you could get some bread. You don't have to go that far. Or can you open the window, please? These are simple requests that you don't necessarily need the express from Dear Man. The A stands for assert wishes. Ask for what you want. Say no clearly. Don't expect people to know what you want them to do if you don't tell them. Some people get really upset. Well, they should know what I'm thinking. Well, why should they? Unless they're some sort of mystic Meg. Why would they know what you were thinking? So don't beat around the bush and don't kind of leave little breadcrumby clues for people to catch up on. If you want something, you assert that wish, assert that want. Don't tell them what they should do, because have a think about times when someone's tried to tell you what to do. And how does that feel? We're all living our own lives and we've all got autonomy over our own lives. And when people tell us what to do, it can make you feel really cross and trapped and all sorts of feelings. So don't put that on somebody else. Be clear, be straight, and bite the bullet. Don't go around all the houses and trying to give them clues. If you want something, say, this is what I'm wanting. These are examples. I have to say no tonight. I just can't look after the children again. Will you accept a return on the item? We don't have money for a holiday. These are very, very clear. Some people have the judgment that asking for things is a sign of weakness, and it's not. We all need things from different people at different times. No man, woman is an island. So it's okay to ask for things from other people. Other people have the thought that other people, they shouldn't need to be told, and people don't always remember. They don't always know what you want. So we have to be clear and we have to communicate that. There's a difference between asking and demanding, and also between being assertive and it falling into the trap of it being aggressive. So if you get your way by demanding or not giving other people a say in the outcome, that is controlling behaviour, and that's hostile. And you might get what you want, don't get me wrong, but it does damage relationships, because no one's going to want to hang out with someone who's constantly being aggressive towards them and getting what they want by enforcing their own kind of perspective on things. So it can damage relationships. Or actually, you don't know whether, if it's, for example, in a shop or a supermarket, you don't know whether what you're demanding is going to be done, because you've spoke to them in a heinous way. So they might give it all, absolutely, yes, and all the customer service that you think you're getting. And then as soon as you leave that shop, it's like, I'm not doing that, because they spoke to me like I was an absolute piece of whatever. So you don't even know if it is working. The R stands for reinforce. So if someone is helping you, they've got to get something positive from it as well. They've got to get something nice back, that warm feeling inside. So express your appreciation after every task that someone's done. Don't overdo it. Don't go too far. If someone makes you a nice dinner, don't be sort of thanking them and kissing their feet and being grateful as if they've saved your life. Don't, because that's disingenuous. So you've gone too far there. Scale it back, pull it back. But do say that, thank you and that you're grateful, and reinforce that behaviour, because people are motivated by getting a positive consequence. So if you can link requests to positives for other people, you're much more likely that they're going to want to do it again. Whereas if they get a negative outcome, or they feel like you're being ungrateful and you've not even acknowledged their help and support, then they're going to feel let down and they're not going to want to do it again, because it's kind of an empty task. So all behaviour is controlled by consequences. So we're thinking more carrot and less stick for this one. Stay mindful. Remember what it is that you want, what position you're holding, and don't change your mind. Avoid being distracted onto another topic. Kids and partners are experts at this. You go in, you get all, right, we're going to talk about this, and this is what we're going to focus on. And then before you know it, you're talking about something else and you think, what? How did you even get there? You've gone completely off topic. So stay mindful, stay on task here. Different techniques. You can use the broken record technique. So you can act like a skipping record on a turntable. You can keep asking the same thing, or you can keep saying no, expressing your opinion over and over until you feel heard. Keep saying the same thing in the same way. You can kill people with kindness. The strength in this one is persistence, of keeping that position. And again, kids are really good at this strategy. I mean, it's as if they invented that strategy. Oh, but can I have this? Oh, but can I have this? And can I have this? And sometimes parents will get to a point where they're just like, oh, yes, of course. And they change their position because the child has used the broken record technique. So, learn from the kids. It's a strategy, and they use it because it works. But you've got to hold your position. If you've said no 5 times and then you've said no, then you've said yes on the 6th time, then all they're going to do is learn that if I just keep pushing, they'll change their mind. So hold your position. Ignore attacks or diversions. So if the person's coming at you with a comment, a threat, whatever it is, you're an idiot. I'm not an idiot. No, 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 no. And then before you know it, you've moved away from whatever it was that you were talking about because you've taken the bait there. They've come at you to railroad you, to distract you. So I've got that little image up there. Don't hop on that hook. Avoid it at all costs. So pay attention to those attacks, but don't allow that other person to take control in that situation by manipulating your feelings and coming at you. Practice these skills. So we've got the broken record technique, ignoring attacks. Notice them. When they come in, just think, right, okay, I see what you're doing there now. I've got a bit more perspective. Right, I'm going to stick to the conversation. So you can spot them a bit more easily when you've got more awareness. The A in man stands for appear confident. Use a confident tone and look confident. So think about your body language. Stand tall, make eye contact. None of this, whispering, staring at the floor. I'd just really like it if you could. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that. None of that. It doesn't matter. If you're making a request, then it matters. Otherwise, don't say it. So don't try and just scoop it all back in because it feels uncomfortable. If that request is there and you need something, then roll with it. Whether you get what you want or not is a different story, but don't try and just dismiss it as if it doesn't matter. It's okay to feel scared or unsure, but if you act scared or unsure, that's going to come across to people. So we're talking about whether you feel confident or not, act confident, look confident, and you've got more chance of getting your point across and getting your needs met. Be mindful of not falling into the arrogant area because it's quite easy to swing too much the other way into being too confident and being quite arrogant or aggressive. So be mindful of that. And don't apologise. Don't apologise for making a request. Don't apologise for having needs. We all have them. Don't apologise for your existence on this planet. So that, because again, that doesn't fit with being confident. I'm really sorry, but can you, I'm just so sorry. No, it doesn't really match up. So don't apologise. The N stands for negotiate. Sometimes you've got to give to get. You've got to offer a little bit and ask for alternatives. So don't be so rigid in that you're not willing to negotiate. So you might want to reduce your request a little bit, ask for a little bit less. So you might still say no as well, but offer something different. No, I'm not going to do that, but what I will do is this. Ask for alternative solutions. Well, yeah, I don't really fancy that, but can you think of something else that I can do with that? Or, put that back on the other person. Ask them to generate ideas of how you could do something differently. What do you think we should do? I'm not able to say yeah, so what could we do differently? How can we solve this problem together? So you don't have to necessarily come down on a hard yes or a no. You can say, right, let's open this up. We've got a situation here. What can we do to resolve it? What are our options? So you can negotiate together. So like any of these skills, it's about practice. Keep trying these skills out on everyday situations, so that when you do need them for something major, you've practiced them on smaller things. Keep yourself tidy. Think about doing things differently and being different and choosing to make those changes. You might have to listen to this recording a few times to remind yourself of what the letters stand for, but keep practicing.